students. Today we are going to speak about the effective ways of delivering a good presentation on the discipline ISS, namely Independent Study Skills. So, what is a presentation? You know, the different kind of presentation. The widespread one is usually like PowerPoint presentation. This presentation takes you through the steps involved in the planning and delivery of a presentation. Consideration will also be given to the effective use of PowerPoint slides in your presentation. A good presentation. So what makes a good presentation? Usually a good presentation is a presentation which has got a clear structure and the one which encourages independent thinking, where there is this communication, where there is a good rapport built between the presenter and the spectators. And then also a good presentation is delivered with enthusiasm. Structure. So layout. Your presentation should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Beginning, like you have to tell your audience what you're going to say. So they should know what you're going to speak about. And middle, you're going to say that. And end, you're telling them what you have just said. Planning of your presentation. Of course, the very first stage would be like choosing the topic for your presentation, and then planning the presentation outline, and then building the talk from your outline, and choosing your delivery methods. There are different methods of delivering a presentation. The one which you are good at would be the ones which will help you to deliver a better presentation. Delivery methods. So these are the widespread methods of delivering a presentation. Video, PowerPoint, overhead projector, handouts, white and blackboard. The most important part when planning your presentation and when delivering your presentation is, of course, your audience. You should keep in mind to whom you are talking. It is important that your talk is geared to the knowledge level of your audience. You are not going to talk about something very difficult, like let's say about like world economy or something to the first graders, right? That would not be interesting for them. Research your audience to avoid going over their heads or boring them. Do not talk down to your audience. Timing. So time management is a very important factor. Know the time constraints for your presentation and leave time for questions. A typical audience has an attention span of around 20 minutes, so get important points in early. Let's say don't drag your presentation. Adding interest. Use humor when appropriate to add sparkle to your talk. Demonstrations also add interest. If you're using a whiteboard or overhead projector, different colored pens will help to add emphasis. Like you can crack a joke during the presentation. Delivering your presentation. So here the first thing is introducing yourself and giving your credentials. The next one is like telling your audience the rules. And of course you have to speak loudly and clearly. And don't forget about the posture as well. You have to stand as tall as you can. And then like standing with broad shoulders in an open position, not closing yourself. And you have to pace yourself. You have to take pauses sometimes. Sometimes you have to be a little bit quicker. And eye contact is another important factor. Like keep the eye contact with your audience. And bring your talk to a clear end. Like they have to understand. Any questions? At the beginning of your talk, make it clear whether questions are allowed at any time or if you will take them at the end. So they would not kind of butt in with their questions if you don't like it. Repeat questions asked so everyone hears and make your answers clear and concise. Using PowerPoint. PowerPoint slides needs to be clear, easy to read and understand. As a general rule, don't use more than 5 or 6 words in a title. Don't use more than 9 words per line. Don't use more than 7 lines of text per slide. Otherwise, that would be boring and that would be like something confusing your audience. Color. Color is great for highlighting text, but don't go overboard. Don't go too far. Too many different colors will make your slides difficult to read. Use contrasting colors for text and background. White on a dark background or black on a light background is fine. Beware of white backgrounds. Highlighting. Bold text stands out very well, as does text in italics. Be cautious using underlining as it can make your slide too busy. Space lines out evenly, avoid gaps in your text, and don't use too many different fonts. See, we have got here 5 or 6 fonts and it already confuses you. A picture tells 1,000 words. As the name suggests, pictures speak louder sometimes. Pictures, charts, and graphs are very useful in conveying meaning. Don't crowd your slides though. Try to use a separate slide for each picture or graph. Which graph? Give some thought to which sort of graph will convey your message best. You could use line graphs, pie charts, bar charts, scatter charts. Line graphs. So here we've got examples. And a pie chart as well to show you like better percentage, better share of something. And then bar chart, scatter chart. So these chart types, these graphs give better understanding. Tables. Here you can see how months and the numbers are given. One last point. Once your presentation is ready, the last thing you must do is practice, practice, and then practice again. You are now ready to face your audience and deliver an interesting and informative presentation. So don't forget, number 1 rule, know your audience, whom you are talking to. Number 2, practice a lot before you start. Keep in mind that your topic should be interesting to your audience. And then, of course, about the layout of the presentation. Make it like colorful where necessary to help your audience to better understand you. And the last thing, as we mentioned before, so make sure that your audience got your idea. You could deliver the message. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your tolerance. See you soon.